Have you ever noticed how some people seem to grow older with peace in their hearts, while others become more bitter with every passing year? It's something we all see in our families, in our communities, and maybe even in ourselves. Aging doesn't always bring the same story. It can shape us into gentle souls filled with gratitude, or leave us trapped in regret and resentment. The truth is, growing old is not only about time, it is about perspective. Some people learn to let go, they choose to embrace life as it is, and they discover joy in simple moments. Others hold on to the past, they compare themselves to those around them, and they allow pain to grow heavier with age. But here's the hope: no matter where you are right now, happiness is still possible. Every day gives us a chance to choose acceptance over regret, connection over isolation, and gratitude over bitterness. In this episode, we will explore why some people get happier with age, while others grow resentful, and most importantly, what you can do to walk toward peace and joy in your own later years. Welcome to Daily Wellness Focus. This is a space for gentle reflection, honest conversation, and simple wisdom. Here you will not find products being sold, you will not hear pushy advice. What you will find is encouragement, perspective, and stories that can help you move through life with more peace and more meaning. Today's topic is very close to the heart. As we age, we often see two very different paths. Some people grow softer, kinder, and even happier with each passing year. Others become distant, bitter, and weighed down by regret. These differences are not just about luck, they are shaped by mindset, by daily choices, and by how we respond to the changes that come with time. In this video, we will explore these two paths together. We will look at what helps someone find joy in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, and what can hold others back from that same joy. Most importantly, we will talk about the choices you can make starting today that lead you toward more light, more love, and more gratitude. This is not theory, it is heartfelt advice shared freely with the hope that it may inspire and guide you. So now, let's take a gentle step forward together. We've set the stage, we've seen how aging can move in two very different directions, one toward joy, the other toward bitterness. The question is, what makes the difference? It's not simply the number of years, it's the way those years are lived, the way challenges are faced, the way gratitude is practiced. In the next part, we will walk side by side through these lessons, and discover what shapes happiness, and what allows bitterness to take root. Why some people get happier with age. As the years pass, something beautiful can happen. Not for everyone, but for many people, aging brings a sense of peace that was harder to find in youth. Happiness in later life is not about avoiding struggle, it is about seeing life through a different lens. Some people discover that the very process of aging, the slowing down, the letting go, can lead them toward a more meaningful joy. Let's explore why some people become happier as they grow older, and what lessons we can learn from them. Acceptance of life. One of the biggest reasons some people feel happier in their later years is acceptance. In youth, there is often a push for more success, more money, more recognition. There is a pressure to prove yourself, to meet society's standards, to live up to the image you hold of who you should be. That pressure can be heavy, and it often leaves people feeling restless and unsatisfied. But something changes with age. Many older adults stop chasing perfection, they stop holding themselves to impossible standards, and they begin to see the beauty in imperfection. Acceptance does not mean giving up, it means living in peace with what is. When you accept that life is not perfect and that you do not need to be perfect, a deep relief comes. With acceptance, the small flaws in life stop feeling like failures, and they start to feel like natural parts of the story. An imperfect family, a career that did not go exactly as planned, a body that has changed with age, these are no longer reasons for shame. They are reminders of being human, of living a full life. And when a person accepts life in this way, they find happiness, not in the perfect, but in the real. Deeper relationships. Another reason happiness often grows with age is the way relationships change. In youth, it is easy to be surrounded by many connections, but not all of them are deep. Friends may come and go, relationships can be shallow, and sometimes people feel lonely even in a crowd. As people grow older, they begin to focus on the connections that matter most. They invest their time and heart in people who truly care, who bring comfort, who share genuine love. They no longer waste energy on relationships that drain them or leave them feeling unseen. These deeper relationships bring a sense of belonging that cannot be measured by numbers of friends or likes on a screen. It is the comfort of a phone call from a child, the laughter of a grandchild, the trust of a lifelong friend. These connections are not about status or appearance, they are about love and presence. And that is where happiness grows. Gratitude. Gratitude is another gift of aging. When people are young, they often overlook the small things. They chase after big achievements, they set high goals, and they measure happiness by milestones. But with age, priorities shift. The small things become big. A morning walk in the sunshine, a quiet cup of tea, the sound of birds, the comfort of a warm blanket. These simple pleasures shine brighter. Older adults often develop a habit of gratitude, not because their lives are perfect, but because they see what still remains instead of what is gone. Gratitude is powerful because it changes the way the heart feels. It turns ordinary moments into treasures, it turns aging from loss into blessing. Someone who practices gratitude does not ignore the difficulties of age, but they choose to balance them with joy. This habit of noticing, of saying thank you for each small gift, makes happiness possible even in the face of struggle. A wider perspective. With age comes perspective, and perspective changes everything. In youth, every problem can feel like the end of the world. A lost job, a broken relationship, a failed dream, these things can feel crushing when you have only known a short part of life. But as the years pass, people see that no single moment defines them. Life is long and storms always pass. Older adults often carry this wisdom. They know that pain fades, that wounds heal, that even disappointment can teach valuable lessons. With this wider perspective, challenges lose their power to destroy happiness. A health scare, a financial setback, or a family conflict may still be painful, but it is no longer overwhelming. Perspective allows people to see not only the struggle but the growth that comes from it. They recognize that every hardship adds depth, that every failure shapes resilience, that every ending makes room for a new beginning. This sense of perspective brings peace, and with peace, happiness finds room to grow. Letting go. Finally, one of the most profound reasons people get happier with age is the ability to let go. Holding on to anger, resentment, or regret creates a heavy burden. It weighs on the heart and steals joy. Younger people often carry these burdens for years, unable to forgive or release the past. But as people age, many begin to realize that life is too short to hold grudges. They learn to forgive not because the past was fair, but because forgiveness frees the heart. They let go of resentment, they soften their grip on old mistakes, and they allow themselves to move forward. Letting go does not mean forgetting, it means choosing freedom over pain. It means allowing peace to enter where bitterness once lived. This act of release is one of the greatest gifts of age. It clears space for joy, for love, for the present moment. Closing reflection. So why do some people get happier with age? Because they choose acceptance over perfection, they build deeper relationships instead of shallow ones, they practice gratitude for the small things, they see life with a wider perspective, and they learn to let go. Aging can bring wrinkles, gray hair, and slower steps, but it can also bring wisdom, gratitude, and peace. Happiness in later life is not about what is lost, but about what is found: acceptance, connection, and freedom. If you are growing older, or if you are simply reflecting on life, remember this: happiness is not locked away in youth. It is available at any stage, waiting to be chosen, waiting to be lived. Every day you can practice acceptance, gratitude, perspective, and forgiveness. Every day you can move closer to peace. And perhaps that is the real beauty of aging. Not just the passing of time, but the growing of the heart. When we look at the two very different paths of aging, one filled with peace and joy, the other marked by regret and bitterness, it becomes clear that life offers us choices. The years pass for everyone, but the way we live those years is what shapes the story. Happiness in old age is not an accident, and bitterness is not a fate set in stone. Both are results of habits, thoughts, and decisions made over time. This gives us hope, because it means we can take action now, no matter our age, to build a life that feels lighter, warmer, and more meaningful. One important lesson is the value of acceptance. Many people who age gracefully have learned to accept that life is not perfect. They know there will always be things outside of their control, yet they choose peace instead of frustration. You can practice this daily by noticing when you want everything to go your way, and gently reminding yourself that life is still good even when it is not perfect. Try pausing, taking a breath and saying, "This is part of my journey, I can carry it." Such small acts of acceptance protect your heart from unnecessary bitterness. Another lesson is to keep relationships close and meaningful. Studies show that deep, supportive connections add years to life and life to years. Call a friend, visit a neighbor, share a meal with family, or join a group where you feel seen. It does not need to be many people, just a few who truly care. If you find yourself isolated, make one small step, like writing a message or attending a community event. Relationships are like gardens, they need watering, they need attention, and when cared for, they bloom beautifully even in later years. Gratitude is also a key practice. People who grow happier with age often say they pay more attention to small joys. You can try this by keeping a simple gratitude list. At the end of the day, write down 3 things that made you smile. It could be the taste of tea, the sound of laughter, or the sight of sunlight through a window. Gratitude shifts the mind away from what is missing and brings focus to what is present. With time, this habit rewires the brain so that positivity feels natural, while bitterness loses its grip. It is also wise to keep a broad perspective. Life's difficulties may feel heavy, but with age comes experience, and experience can lighten the weight. Think back to past challenges you thought you could not handle, yet somehow you did. Remembering your own strength helps you see current struggles in a softer light. You can remind yourself, "I have been through storms before, I can weather this too." That kind of perspective makes aging less frightening and more like a journey of wisdom. Forgiveness is another lesson that brings deep relief. Carrying resentment is like holding a burning coal, it only hurts the one who refuses to let go. Many older people who radiate peace have chosen to forgive, not because others deserved it, but because they themselves deserve peace. You can try this by writing a letter you never sent, expressing your feelings, then letting it go. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting, it means freeing yourself from the chains of the past. Each time you let go, your heart grows lighter. On the practical side, caring for your health is a foundation for well-being. Many bitter feelings in later life come from pain, fatigue, and illness. You may not control everything about your body, but you can choose to give it care. Walk if you can, stretch gently, eat balanced meals, and drink water. See your doctor, take your medicine, and listen to your body's signals. Even small improvements, like better sleep or more movement, can lift your mood and energy, making life feel brighter. It is also helpful to adjust the way you think. Negative thoughts often grow stronger with age, but they can be challenged. When you notice yourself focusing on loss, try to gently ask, "What do I still have?" If you compare yourself to others, ask instead, "What is good in my own life?" These shifts may feel small, yet they build resilience. Over time, your mind learns to look for balance, not just for pain. This practice can save you from sliding into bitterness. Another suggestion is to stay engaged with life. People who age with joy often keep learning, creating, or contributing in some way. This does not have to be big. You might read, learn a new skill, share stories with younger people, or volunteer. Engagement gives a sense of purpose, and purpose is a powerful shield against bitterness. Each time you give your energy to something meaningful, you remind yourself that you still matter, that your life still has value. It is also worth remembering that happiness is not a permanent state. Everyone feels sadness, everyone feels frustration. The goal is not to avoid pain, but to keep it from taking over. Think of life as a garden. Some weeds will always grow, but if you water the flowers, the weeds will not dominate. Your habits of gratitude, forgiveness, connection, and acceptance are the water for your flowers. Bitterness may try to take root, but it cannot thrive in a garden that is well cared for. Lastly, one of the most powerful lessons is to live in the present. Regret often lives in the past, and fear often lives in the future, but peace is found in today. When you wake up, take a moment to notice the light in the room, the sound of your breath, the fact that you are here. Simple mindfulness practices bring your attention back to what is real now, instead of what is lost or uncertain. The more you anchor yourself in the present, the more joy becomes available. In summary, aging can be a path to peace or a path to bitterness. The difference lies in daily choices, in habits of thought, and in the way we care for our hearts and bodies. By practicing acceptance, nurturing relationships, showing gratitude, broadening perspective, forgiving often, and caring for health, we move closer to happiness. By challenging negativity, staying engaged, and living in the present, we protect ourselves from bitterness. You may not change every habit at once, and you do not need to. Begin with one small step, perhaps writing a gratitude list tonight, or calling a friend tomorrow. Over time, these small steps add up, shaping a life that feels lighter, warmer, and more fulfilling. The journey of aging does not have to be feared. It can be a journey toward wisdom, peace, and deeper joy. And the best part is, the choice is still in your hands today, right now. As we reach the end of this reflection, I want you to take a deep breath and remember something important. Aging is not a burden, it is a gift, and how we experience it depends so much on the choices we make today. Every smile you share, every word of kindness you give, and every moment of gratitude you practice, adds light to your later years. Life may not always feel perfect, but perfection was never the goal. Peace and meaning are. If this video has touched your heart, I invite you to carry one simple thought with you. It's never too late to choose happiness. You can start today with one act of letting go, one note of gratitude, one call to a loved one, or even one quiet moment of forgiveness. These small steps create a big change over time. Thank you for spending this time with me here at Daily Wellness Focus. If you found value in this conversation, please like this video, share it with someone who might need encouragement, and subscribe so we can keep growing together. Let's keep choosing joy no matter our age.